Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. First and 10, Mayfield. Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. That would complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 53. I got you.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 2nd down, it's Watts, and he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. And when they called that play, I'm not sure they expected it to go all the way to the end zone. Nice little reward, though.
Without a doubt, and sometimes I think the offensive line gets a little bit more inspiration when they know that. Guy's going to get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often. They want to reward him for all that good blocking he does as well.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Set. 53, Mike. Exit.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly,
now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
How about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on third down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Mayfield finding Beckham, and he's taken down inside the 30. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. From the red zone now, Mayfield. He's got his man. This is Tate. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They come up in an offset eye.
Number 53, Mike 53. Watch the slant.
Throwing, Mayfield toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Escaping the pressure right. He'll try, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. A give to Michel running right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield off the play fake. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Stidham. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 3rd down, Stidham. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. But what made that toss out to the right so successful? Because it looked pretty easy.
A belief in the play. An absolute execution by all 11 on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone took care of their assignment, but the reason they did so, every time that play is called, they think it's going to go for big yardage. It's their staple play, and they love to run it.
A run with Chubb on first down, not going to be a good one. He won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Mayfield down. It's caught. Beckham. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender, towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Stidham sets to throw on first. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 18 big yards on that one and a New England first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a third down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Stidham. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Mack Wilson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him. From the 17, Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Mayfield on first down. Got an open man. It's Scott. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. That's out to Chubb, complete. Fighting through, and he's got space. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here's a first down throw that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Mayfield to throw it. He finds his target, Beckham. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Mayfield looks to throw. He completes it to Tate. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on, what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10 now, Stidham. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Taking a shot for Samuel. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half. It's Stidham. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. We have hit half. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's Stidham. And that'll be incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them. Pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to... 70. Continue to struggle.
You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it. Watch blue draw Corkers. Hey, Charlie.
3rd and long. It's Stidham. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Chubb on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Mayfield now from the 50. He finds Beckham complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Chubb running right. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Chubb, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
Let's put that team on the bus.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to have the hook up to Scott. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 17-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a second and about a mile here. Second down, Stidham to throw. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Again, it's Michel. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Got his man, that's Harry. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. On 3rd down, Stidham. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
I'm coming.
They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. 4th down, here's Stidham. And that is going to be incomplete. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Back now in Foxborough. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Well, look at this, a tight end carry. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They run. Chubb. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. It's caught by OBJ. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 29-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
He's coming. We got double up.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And again, it's Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Stidham. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Stidham again here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Stidham, third down from the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Watch the curl. Switch.
Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And it's Michel once again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and throw for it with Stidham. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On the carry, it's Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Number 53. He's tired of
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. It's caught. Beckham. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on.